Hey class, today we're going to do lesson 2 in module 7. It's more of the same as we did yesterday. So it is working on word problems using all of the information that we've learned this year, all the strategies we've learned this year. We'll get through a couple of these and it'll be a good refresher for you, and then you can go off and practice on your own. Let's go ahead and take a look at the problem set, or actually I'm showing you the homework because you're going to have the problem set to do in class. All right. A box containing 3 small bags of flour weighs 950 grams. So everything, the box plus flour equals 950 grams. Taking notes here can really help. Flour equals 300 grams per bag. And there's 3 bags. And the question becomes, how much does the empty box weigh? That's important. We need to know what we're actually being asked to solve here. If we don't know what we're being asked to solve, we can't possibly solve it correctly. So I need to say, well, all right, how much does the flour altogether weigh? I have 3 times 300 equals, I'm not sure yet. Now, some of you might be able to multiply that. And some of you might say, you know what, you all can do multiply that. You could say 3 times 3 times 100. You can shift those parentheses around and make that 9 times 100 equals 900. All right, we broke that 300 apart into a 3 times 100 and then moved our parentheses around. So the flour equals 900 grams. Well, the total thing weighs 950 altogether. So you put the box and all the flour, it's 950. So the box is just the difference between the total and the flour, 950 minus 900. So I have the total weight, I subtract the weight of the flour, and I'm going to get the weight of the box. And we can see that that's just 50 grams. So the box weighs 50 grams. So multi-step problem, but very doable if you take your time and go step by step. The next one says, Mr. Cullen needs 91 carpet squares. He has 49 carpet squares. If the squares are sold in boxes of 6, how many more boxes of carpet squares does he need to buy? Okay, so a couple of steps here. The first thing is we need to figure out how many more he needs. So he needs 91 and he has 49. So we need to find the difference. And when we find difference, we subtract. So 91 minus 49. So can we do, if I have 1, can I give you 9? I can't do that. So I come over here, my 90, and make that an 80, and move 10 across to make that 11. 11 minus 9 is 2. 80 minus 4 is 40. So he needs 42 squares. Okay. Now they're sold in boxes of 6. So that's telling me that they come in groups of 6. Well, when I hear the word groups, I think, ooh, multiplication division. So I have a total of 42 divided into groups of 6 tells me how many groups there are. So total, remember that this is from like way back in the beginning of the year. Group size, number of groups is what we're figuring out. And I would think about this as a turnaround fact, like something times 6 equals 42. And I know that 7 times 6 equals 42. So 7 more boxes is the answer there. And I would expect you to write that in a sentence. I'm going to leave it here, but you would write that in a full sentence as part of the read, draw, write process. Now it says Erica makes a banner using 4 sheets of paper. Each paper measures 9 inches by 10 inches. What is the total area of Erica's banner? So she's using 4 sheets and each one's 9 by 10. 4 sheets, each 9 inches times 10 inches. Those are the dimensions. So 9 inch, 10 inch. All right. So first thing we need to do is figure out what's the area of one piece of paper. So the area of one piece is we multiply 2 sides together. It's 90 square inches. 9 times 10 is 90. So we have 1 sheet equals 90 square inches. 4 sheets equals, we don't know yet. We have to solve that part. But I do know that I can do 4 times 90 equals some number. All right, you might be saying to yourself, Mr. Brunel, it's been a while since we've done this. How do I figure out 4 times 90? I would think of that as a 9 times 10. So 4 times 9 times 10, and I'd put my parentheses around the 4 and the 9, which is 36 times 10. And when I multiply by 10, I'm going to stick that 0 on the back of the 36. So that's going to equal, put my 36 down and then put the 0 on the back of it, 360 square inches. So again, we're reviewing a lot of the things that we talked about earlier in the year. Monica scored 32 points for her team at the Science Bowl. She got 5 4-point questions correct, and the rest of her points came from answering 3-point questions. How many 3-point questions did she get correct? How many 3-point questions did she get correct? So 32 is my total. We're going to do 4-point questions and 3-point questions. So she got 20 points, 5 times 4, right? So we need to figure out how many points are left. She got 32 total minus 20 that she scored with 4-point points. That's 12 points. So she got 12 points from 3-point questions. I have no doubt that you can get to that point in this problem. And the trick is not stopping there, because that's not the correct answer. This is information we need to get the correct answer, but it itself is not the correct answer. You now need to say, okay, that's how many points she got from 3-point questions, but how many questions did it take to get to 12 points? So 3 points times some number of questions equals 12 points. That's the points, and this is the questions. And since it wants to know how many questions she got correct, we need to fill this in, and it's 4. So 4 questions. That's how many she answered. 4 3-point questions is how many she answered correctly. All right, let's move on. We got 2 questions remaining here, and then you're off on your own to work on this. Kim's black kitten weighs 175 grams. Her gray kitten weighs 43 grams less. That less is really important than the black kitten. What is the total weight of the 2 kittens? So black kitten, gray kitten. Black, we know what it weighs, 175 grams. Well, gray weighs 43 grams less than the black kitten. So that's subtraction, 175 minus 43, 132 grams. And now we have the weights of both of them, and we need to find the total weight. Well, when we have 2 things and we need to find a total, we just add them up. So 175 plus 132, good chance to practice your standard algorithm work here. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10, so we put a 0 there and I carry a 1. And then we have 3 ones, which equals 300. 3 100s equals 300. And we have 307 grams. Don't forget that unit. Remember, if you get the number correct and don't label it with a unit, then that answer is incorrect because we don't know what it is you're talking about. You haven't labeled it for us. All right, last one here is C and J combined height is 200, I'm sorry, I misread that completely. 267 centimeters. C is 128 centimeters tall. How much taller is J than C? Okay, so here we go. We have C equals 128 centimeters. J, we don't know yet. And total, we do know, 267 centimeters. So we could subtract these because 128 plus J equals 267, right? So in order to find that missing piece, we just have to do the turnaround of this. So we have to do 267 minus 128 equals J. 7 minus 8, I can't do that. So I come over here and say 5, 17. Now that becomes 9. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Awesome. Okay, so now we can say that Javier, J, is 139 centimeters tall. But again, we're not done our problem yet because the final question said, how much taller is Javier than Cassius? And we have to say the difference there is 139 minus 128. And we can see that that's going to be 11 centimeters. And your answer in sentence form will be that he is 11 centimeters taller than his friend. So there we go. That was a quick run through of some work that we did earlier in the year. Again, Module 7 starts off with reviewing that all in word problem format. But it's a good chance for us to go over some of the things we talked about this year and make sure that we have those skills really secure as you head off into 4th grade here. All right, good job, guys. Please let me know if you have any questions.